My quest of understanding coffee culture around the world takes us next to a Nordic country with the highest consumption in the whole world per capita. Finland. My trip to Helsinki took us first to the beautiful, breathtaking central library Oodi, where I refreshed with a few cups of coffee, reflecting on my observations of coffee consumption and cafe culture in this country. When I visited Finland for the first time, being a European, I expected tiny espresso cups and elaborate latte art. Surely the country where the average person consumes 12 kilo of coffee each year has cafes crowded with coffee lovers on every corner. And then I learned that most people drink liters of filtered coffee every day. To dig deeper into the coffee culture of Finland, I decided to visit next some of the most iconic cafes in Helsinki that combine good coffee with rich history. Welcome to Café Ursula. Set at the picturesque top of Kaivopuisto Peninsula in Helsinki sits a unique and a highly purpose-driven cafe that carries the name of the saint of charity and women, Ursula. Founded by a group of determined women in 1950s, this was a dream come true story. The women collected bottles and newspapers to raise the initial capital to build a small cottage-style cafe, creating a relaxing space for the locals and also the visitors ahead of the Helsinki Summer Olympics in 1952. From the beginning, the idea was to build a community space with proceeds of which would be directed to charitable organizations. Built by people, for people. Ursula served coffee even though that was a rare delicacy in post-war Helsinki. And the cafe continued to flourish. It expanded multiple times until 1986 it became a year-round cafe. And the cafe has big plans for future next few years. There is something so calming and relaxing sitting by the sea and looking at the horizon while sipping a cup of coffee. This is where the Finnish design of open spaces with massive windows letting in light and allowing you to observe the stunning nature truly shines. The cafe offers a variety of coffee drinks, sweets, lunch options, but I opted for a refillable filtered coffee and paired it with a decadent and delicious white chocolate cake with blueberries. I always loved blueberries, but after living in Finland for a while, I came to appreciate them even more. The forests are covered with them in summer, and it's quite the sight. And so whenever I have the chance, I add them to my menu. I first had a blueberry juice on a Finnair flight, where it seems to be the default drink for travelers. Looking out of the window, eating my cake and sipping my coffee, I felt grateful that a group of women dared to dream to start something that grew into an iconic cultural spot enjoyed by generations, and now me. From humble beginnings to a sizable cafe with big plans for another expansion is, to me, a story of Finnish perseverance, grit, and belief, or as they call it, sisu. After a refreshing stop at Café Ursula and a wonderful walk alongside the peninsula, my new theory of why Finns drink so much coffee is that it is simply an opportunity or an excuse to slow down and connect with nature through the huge panes of glass decorating the coffee shops. I always had the urban backdrop in my mind when I imagined a cafe, but here in Finland, I'm amazed how the city life blends with nature at every step, even at a bustling cafe. Next, we will visit Café Regatta, another iconic place, and see whether my theory holds. I can't wait to take you there. Until then.